Welcome and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about baneful magic. Why? Because fuck them, that's why. Let's get into it. So, what is baneful magic? It's using any kind of spell work or ritual to cause harm or return negative energy to a person that sent it to you or to a person that harmed you. Why it's important? Personally, I feel like there needs to be a balance to the scale, right? If you have too much of one thing, it throws everything off and the universe goes all kooky, right? So, too much light work throws it off. Too much baneful magic throws it off. You need it to balance out. Right there. That's where you need it. Too much of one thing is a bad thing. So, what are some types of baneful magic spells? There's binding spells you can do. Those are fun. Freezer spells, banishing spells, hexes, curses, reversals. The saying goes, a witch who can't hex can't heal. I fully believe that. Because if you don't know how to do one thing, you can't really do another. You need to do both. Shadow work is important. Grounding is important. All of that is important. So, you definitely need all that. We're doing your baneful stuff. Make sure it's ethical. Make sure you have the right reasons to be doing what you're doing. You don't want to just hex or curse somebody's bloodline because they picked the wrong apple at the grocery store, or they cut you off in traffic, or they're turning too slow on the highway to get off the exit. That's ridiculous. Grow up. Get over yourselves. You don't really need to be hexing or cursing or jinxing somebody for doing that dumb shit. Grow up. Baneful magic is, in my opinion, saved for people who have DV, SA, all that stuff. Some people who have done harm to you, your family, your children. You done harm to you psychologically, emotionally. That. When practicing baneful magic, make sure that it's ethical. I, for one, do not believe in animal sacrifice. It's the 21st century. Times have changed. Let's respect the animals in nature. Let's not, just grab a chicken and don't do that. No. Be ethical with it. Don't do any of that stuff. I don't think that stuff is cool. It's definitely not part of my practice. I know certain people still do that kind of stuff, and hey, let them do what they do. I'll continue on my path. Not everybody's path is the same. So, that being said, what kind of baneful herbs can you use? So, belladonna, mandrake, datura. These are some baneful herbs that you can use. However, when handling these herbs, you need to be extra careful doing it. They are toxic. They can cause harm. Wear a mask. Wear gloves. Don't handle them with your hands freely because they are poisonous. They can harm you, so be careful. If you're doing any kind of kitchen witchery, I personally use stuff like vinegar, chili powder, red pepper flakes, anything spicy. My favorite thing to do is to use rusty nails. Those are fun. Those are easy to make. Just grab nails, put them in hydrogen peroxide and vinegar, wait a couple hours or a couple of days, and then they get all rusty, and then in the jar they go. So what kind of baneful things can you do? Jinxes. Let me leave my notes here. Jinxes are minor short-term spells meant to cause small annoyances. Basically, you're just jinxing someone so they have a shitty day. That's always fun to watch. They forget their keys at home, or they stub their big toe on the bedpost. It's always fun to watch. Hey, lady, shitty day. When it's something more serious, hexes. They're stronger than jinxes, but they're also temporary. They often intend to teach a lesson or send negative energy that causes internal struggle rather than just bad luck. So what that means is you really get in there and you really screw with their head, right? Dark thoughts, racing thoughts, high anxiety. Make sure you do that to people who have really wronged you, though. Because if you're just doing it to the regular Joe down the street, again, that energy is going to come back to you and you're going to be screwed. So don't do that. Curses are a little bit more intense. It's a severe form of baneful magic. It's meant to cause significant harm or turmoil over a long period. They can affect a person for a lifetime, and you can even do it across generations. So if you really don't like this person and they really did you dirty, that one's fun. Binding spells, they restrict the person's actions to prevent them from causing future harm, to others or themselves. Freezer spells are good for that. You just grab your herbs, write a person's name on a piece of paper, fold it 3 times away from you, throw it in the jar, throw a bunch of disgusting shit in the jar, and put it in the freezer. I've done a couple of those. Those are really fun, and they work. So those are just a couple of. You can also use a cow's tongue. Those are good too. That's real serious too. So my personal experience doing any baneful magic, I have done a couple of freezer spells on certain people, and the changes were a bit significant. One freezer spell I had done, the person was being really nasty to certain people and borderline abusive. So I did the freezer spell, put them in there. After a few months, the behavior changed. They became a little bit more grounded. I feel like they became a little bit more level-headed and started listening to reason and just kind of mellowing out a little bit. So again, that was a form of a binding spell. So that prevents them from doing harm to themselves and other people, which was the goal and it was intended. So it's good. Another freezer spell I did, let's just say they're not having a good time. Another couple of justice spells. I've done a few justice spells for a few people. One of them was not letting the mother see the daughter, so that's a no-no for me. You don't mess with someone's family. You don't mess with the kids, because that's just a no-no. You don't do that. They asked me if I can do something for them, and I did. And this person definitely got in trouble with law enforcement, lost their job, stuff like that. So they work. You just need to be doing them for the right reasons. You can't just go around throwing this shit out there like you're handing out candy on Halloween. That's not how it works. You need to be doing it ethically. You need to have a balance between light working and baneful. You can't just go out and do whatever you want. There are consequences to your actions. It's real life. There are real life consequences. So just be mindful with what you're doing. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Other types of baneful magic, you can use puppets. Puppets are basically like little dolls you make in the shape of a person. You write that person's name on it and whatnot, and you can kind of use it as like a little voodoo doll and just kind of do whatever you want to it. You can just kind of mess with them. Sour jars are good too. You can make a bunch of gross stuff. Like I said, I have warm water here somewhere, not telling you where. Sour jars, you can just put their name in a sour jar, put a bunch of gross shit in it, and call it good. That's always nice. Get into a little heavier stuff like necromancy. You can use the spirits of the dead to go and send them to go mess with the person who wronged you. Make sure you're very well protected when you're doing that. You can also use blood magic. Be careful with blood magic because you're tethered to that spell. You're tethered to that working. Your DNA is now in that working, so it's definitely something to really consider when you're doing blood magic. I personally won't do blood magic. That my personal practice, I won't touch it because I'm not going to be tethered to that spell. I'm not the one that did myself wrong, so I'm not going to use blood magic. You can also use energy draining or confusion spells too. Those are really just in the name themselves. They pretty much define themselves with that one. If you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty of baneful magic, there's tons of books on Amazon that you can look through, or even just on the internet in general, you can shop for and look through. I, for one, have a book about black magic myself. It talks about the lesser keys of Solomon and demon magic and all that nice, wonderful, fun stuff. I haven't read through the whole thing yet, but I will, because you know, lives. So, but yes, there's tons of books out there that you can look through. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to reference to at this moment, but I'll make another video doing that later on. When doing your baneful magic, please remember to work with it ethically. Don't do anything to people who don't deserve it. There's too much of that crap going around now anyway. So please be mindful, please be respectful, keep your protections up, and just practice ethically. Don't just go, you get a hex and you get a hex, everyone gets a hex. You don't want to do that. That kind of energy will definitely come back to you, and you don't fucking do that. I guess that's it. Yeah. And fuck V Shred. Okay, bye.